experimenting over the last 10 days, I realized that there was a lot of emphasis on my emotional development, which is pretty good. So today I just wanted to start off by saying that the second phase, or the next 10 days, will be mainly on particularly that and exploring different changes that I've been able to observe in my emotional state. And it's interesting to see that the literature actually says emotional development, particularly in adult behavioral changes, includes changes in the emotional significance of some stimulus situations. And this is particularly in social interaction. So I've been going through a couple of conversations over the course of the last few days with some friends. And yesterday when I mentioned like, oh, how would you treat yourself if you were your friend? And last night I was thinking about a deeper understanding of that. I've been very blessed to see lifelong friendships modeled in my life. My mom and dad both have very strong, significant friendships that they've kept over the course of the last 30, 40 years, and it's so cool to know these people and to become friends with them ourselves. So what's the implication of that for me in my own life, right? How do I maintain lifelong friendships? It brought me to the conclusion that friendships come and go, but your relationship with yourself is forever. And so it really starts with knowing yourself and what you want, and most importantly, being able to communicate that to the other person, which is something I've always had a hard time doing, and I've always only recently applied that in my own life, communicating what I need and being okay with the other person not necessarily being able to meet me where that is. Because in every relationship, whether it's a friendship or a significant other, like a familial relationship or a work relationship, a lot of the conflict comes from miscommunication. But how can you communicate properly if you don't even know what you want yourself? And so boundaries is also so important. Being able to articulate that effectively is so important, and being able to stand up for yourself. I think a lot of the trauma that we experience and then carry into adulthood comes from us having to neglect or reject parts of ourselves in order to fit what other people want or expect from us. And so the question I have for myself and for you today is, what parts of yourself have you neglected or have you rejected in order to fit in? And it's never too late to go back to that and to rehash that. It no longer has to be you versus the world. Like, I've always felt like I'm the one that's at a loss. And that's not necessarily true. It's just I've never been able to effectively communicate what I need. And digging deeper into that, it's because of one or two reasons. Number one, it's like, well, you love me enough you have to know what I need without me having to spell it out for you. But no, that's like wrong. Like, you actually need to communicate that. And number two, I am too afraid to be honest with myself and to be able to hold space for myself, and then therefore allow people to hold space for me, because I'm afraid I will be rejected or left behind. And so there's a lot of that I'm currently processing. But it's so interesting to see how just the mere making space for myself in the last 10 days, maybe, fair enough, like it was probably a longer time, but this experiment, this opportunity to really just reflect has been significant. I hope that whatever I learn here through this process, I'll continue to apply. And it's so hard though. I thrive being the friend you can call at any time, day or night, but I have a hard time doing that. And I would rather just keep it to myself if you've hurt me or bothered me, until resentment builds and then like it's basically friendship over, which is something I really don't want to do anymore. But we're all a work in progress, and I think apart from communicating well and effectively, also being compassionate to yourself is really important. I just thought I'd share that, and thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I know that this is time out of your day if you're watching this. I think it's been good so far. So yeah, see you tomorrow. To conclude this, like, hey dad, I did it. I concluded it.